Hello friends, welcome to this new tutorial. Today I have here this Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, and the problem on it is the battery. So today in this video I will show you how to replace the battery. So to do this job we will need a new battery, we will need a Phillips screwdriver, an IC semi, a plastic like this, a glove, and a heat gun. Okay, all right, so let's start. We may need something else during this job. Yeah, I think we will need double sticky adhesive. Yes, this is the double sticky adhesive. So let's start. The first thing we're gonna do, we need to put this glove, and we will need to heat up the back. So I'm gonna put the phone here, then use this heat gun, and they will heat up the back for maybe 1 or 2 minutes maximum. All right, so I think it's hot enough. So what I'm gonna do now, I will use this IC semi, and they will make a small gap here. Make sure when you are using the metallic tools, just insert the tip and don't wiggle or pry up. So just insert it and make a very small tiny gap here. If you feel like it's hard, don't use the force, just heat it up a little bit more. As you see, I insert this one here. This part here is glass, and if you pry up you will break this glass, definitely will break it. So make sure you are very or extremely careful. So once I make this small gap here, I will insert this plastic here, and they will remove the IC semi. So we don't need this anymore, so we're just gonna use the plastic now. And now I'm just gonna slide this all around the edges until I release the back cover. Make sure don't put this plastic deep inside, or when you feel like it's stuck somewhere, try to bypass it, then come back to it when you have a clear vision of what's going on there. For the camera lens, it will come off with the frame, so just keep prying up. Alright, as you see here, it's open now, and now I can just lift it up. But if it's still glued from the side, don't try not to bend it, because if you bend it just a little bit, it will break. Alright, so we removed it. The adhesive that you see here, if you don't have the double sticky adhesive, you need to save this adhesive here, because you will need to use it to glue the back frame here. Make sure it's not overlapping each other and it's not crooked, and yeah. Alright, so we remove the back. As you see, it comes off with the glass. So now what we're gonna do, I will open some screws here to have access to the battery. So the first part we're gonna open is this screws here. All the screws are the same, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. Okay, so now let me see if I can remove this bracket from here. So this bracket, it's already removed, but it has some cables. It has one cable connected here and another one here. Then here it just glued here. We can just remove it carefully, and that's it. This is the wireless charging part. Okay, so now the first thing I'm gonna do, I will disconnect the battery. This is the battery cable. Then I will disconnect the rest of the cables. I will flip these cables back, and now to remove the battery from here, I will use this IC semi and I will go underneath here. Okay, let me try from this side. I need to find like a gap where I can insert this, and I'm just gonna pray up gently. Make sure don't use the tools that may break, that may make a cut on the battery. Try to keep the battery safe, because if you poke it, it may damage, you know. I mean, it may cause some fire damage here. So I'm just pulling it carefully until I release it. Boom, it's released. As you see, this battery, it looks like it was swollen before, that's why it's like this, and that was the reason for replacing this battery. As you see here, I still have some sticky adhesive here, so I can use this one without the double sticky adhesive. In case you remove all the thing from here, I mean all the adhesive, you can put two strips, one here and one here, or this way, just two strips of this double sticky adhesive. I'm not gonna put it because I still have adhesive that it can stick the battery to. So now I will connect the battery cable, then I will let the battery sit flat in its spot. So now after I make sure that the battery is good, I will disconnect it. I disconnect the battery. So now I will connect all the cables, and I will leave the battery as the last thing that I will reconnect. Alright, so this is the battery, it will be the last thing. When you are connecting these cables, make sure they are well connected and they are matching with their connections on the motherboard. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I will just put this bracket back, and I will make sure that these cables are connected. This is one, and this is another one here. Then I will put the screws. I have here 6 screws. Alright, so now I'm gonna put the screws back. Alright, so I put all the screws back. So now I need to make sure that the frame is clean. It doesn't have any overlapping or bad adhesive here. So I remove this. You can use just your hand to remove this, or you can use like flathead screwdriver to get rid of everything. Alright, so there is nothing here, everything is clear, and here too, and that's it. So now I can put this back. So this adhesive, sometimes when you remove it, it may not be good, I mean sticking good. So if you have a case that will hold this tight, that's fine. If not, you need to replace this adhesive. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I will just pull this out from here. Make sure don't touch the camera lens, and even this one here too, don't touch them with your finger because it will make the picture foggy. Alright, so now I'm gonna use this adhesive and it will make, I will put like one strip here, and make sure that this adhesive is not overlapping the edges. Make sure that it's inside the edge here, not overlapping it here. Okay, so now I will need a cutter to cut this adhesive perfectly with this edge, and I will do the same thing here. Here in this edge we have like an extension here, so I'm just gonna overlap it with the adhesive, then I will cut it off later. Then I will use this spudger to make sure that the adhesive sticks very well. So here we have the buttons, and this part is a little bit raised up, so I will just make sure I go around it. Alright, so now I will cut this extension here. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, I will remove the paper that is covering the adhesive. Alright, so now everything is good. So I'm just gonna glue this down here. And that's it. The phone is perfectly sealed. Everything is good. So now I will turn on the phone to make sure everything is working fine. Sometimes the battery may not have enough juice on it, so you need to charge it. Let me plug it in charge to see. Alright, so I'm just gonna wait for it until it gets some juice on it, then I will turn it on. And that's how to replace the battery on a Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment area. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Peace.